Good Tuesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside that weather window. And what a fantastic day today all around north central Washington. This a view from our Sky-Fi Tower camera in the Waterville area, our Waterville Sky-Fi Tower camera looking down at the beautiful Columbia River and the foothills of the Cascades, and not much snow left. Boy, this warm weather and a couple of shots of rain has really taken that snow away here in most of north central Washington. But we do have a storm system moving in tomorrow. It'll actually be tomorrow night and into Thursday. And yes, in the Cascades, we could see some snow out of that. 1 to 2 inches for Stevens Pass, 4 to 6 inches possible around Blewett Pass. That map there is for tomorrow night into Thursday. The dark blue areas, the heaviest snow. So we will see some snowfall just to our west, while we will see rain showers. And we do have a pretty wet forecast to talk about. We'll do all that coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. The Wenatchee Valley appears to be in a good position as far as the outlook for future business and job growth. The average temperature this month at Pangbourne Airport is on pace to set an all-time record for the chilliest March in history. And if you're one of the many Washington motorists who use studded snow tires, you have 5 days to replace them or face a fine. But first, we begin tonight. The man convicted in the 2016 execution-style killing of Jill Marie Sundberg of Quincy has been sentenced to life in prison. Gustavo Tapia Rodriguez was described by prosecutors as the leader of a drug gang that kidnapped Sundberg from an RV park near George and then took her to a remote area along the Old Vantage Highway where she was shot numerous times. Prosecutors said the men thought Sundberg was a drug informant. 2 other men earlier pleaded guilty in the murder and kidnapping and testified against Rodriguez at his trial last month. Rodriguez also faces murder charges in the killing of a 21-year-old man just 2 weeks before Sundberg's murder. Grant County prosecutor Garth Dano told the Columbia Basin Herald the case represented a, quote, failure of our immigration system, unquote. All the men involved in Sundberg's murder were in the country illegally. The Wenatchee Valley appears to be in a good position as far as the outlook for future business and job growth. At least that was the takeaway from a presentation delivered on the regional economy at a Chelan County Port District hosted breakfast program earlier today. NCWLIFE Steve Hare was there and filed this report.
Well, we estimate maybe 115 people here showed up at the convention center for the Chelan County Port District's breakfast. It is the topic, of course, is economic development and the different partners that work with the Port District in making that a going concern here in Chelan County. I'm joined right now here with the general manager of the Chelan County Port District, Jim Kuntz, and you got to be pleased with the turnout and very good presentation by Jim Mitchell, your economist today, your keynote speaker.
Yeah, it really was a great turnout, a good mix of elected officials and private businesses throughout the greater Chelan County area, so really a good turnout. And John Mitchell is a great economist, 25 years with U.S. Bank, and really understands the Pacific Northwest economy. And what an uplifting presentation. It appears that, you know, all of the economic factors that he looks at for a strong economy are in place not only for the Pacific Northwest, but for the greater Wenatchee Valley.
Absolutely. That bodes well for economic development here in the Valley as well, doesn't it?
It does. I think that one of our biggest challenges is making sure that we have inventory available to plug in new businesses. One of the things that I have found coming back to my hometown is how tight the supply is of light manufacturing buildings and industrial buildings and land as well. And so one of my goals is to make sure we have inventory, Steve, so when we get that business lead, we can plug them into facilities cost effectively and use it as basically an incentive to choose Wenatchee over many other Eastern Washington communities they may be looking at.
Well, I was especially impressed by your presentation at the beginning of the program, talking about the strides forward that the port's making in terms of bringing new business to the Valley with your Cashmere Mill District, the continuing development of the Pangbourne Pangborn Airport really is a rosy picture.
It is. Basically, Pangborn and passenger air service is outstanding. Over 64,000 boardings last year. That was up over 7% from 2017. We're working on trying to get a second airline to sign on to come to Wenatchee. So the airline stuff is really positive, strong outlook. And Kashmir, we're building two 16,500 square foot buildings as flex space, and we've already signed up 2 anchor tenants.
That's amazing. Are you surprised at how fast that's developing out there in Kashmir?
I am. Well, we thought it would be a multi-year process of getting buildings built and plugging in businesses, but to have 2 anchor tenants secured, sign on the dotted line before the buildings are even finished, because we're still waiting until a summer finishing, shows that Wenatchee and the whole valley is pretty strong economically.
Definitely. So what do you think that the people that attended today's breakfast should come away with in terms of a message from John Mitchell in his presentation?
I think John's message was we're going to continue to have economic growth, probably at a less rapid rate, maybe 2-3% a year, but the fundamental economy is strong. Employment is up. Wage growth is up. Interest rates, surprisingly, have not only stabilized, they've gone down a little bit. We are still a relatively cost-effective housing market compared to some of our metros, in that there will be modest growth in the greater Wenatchee Valley for 2019.
And that's good for really Chelan and Douglas County, because I looked at the numbers, and really we fare well in comparison with the rest of the state and the U.S.
We do. We are very fortunate, and we are a regional economy. Whatever is good for Douglas County is good for Chelan, and vice versa. And I think from an economic development perspective, we want to locate businesses in both of these counties, and the economic benefits will spread.
Well, thank you very much, Jim Kuntz, General Manager of the Chelan County Port District. And, of course, the Partners in Economic Development breakfast here in the Wenatchee Convention Center attracted about 115 people today, and it was a good mix, I think, of private sector, electeds, and business people here that participated in this event. I'm Steve Hare, NCWLIFE News.
For more on today's program, log on to the Chelan County Port District's website. Well, the average temperature this month at Pangborn Airport is on pace to set an all-time record for the chilliest March in history. According to the National Weather Service, Wenatchee's average temperature between the day's high and the overnight low is at 32.5 degrees or 10.5 degrees below normal. The coldest March on record was back in 1971 with an average of 37.8 degrees. Temperatures from now until March 31st at Pangborn would have to be at least 10 degrees above normal just to climb into second place. Well, if you're one of the many Washington motorists who use studded snow tires, you have 5 days to replace them or face a fine. Motorists using studded tires after the March 31st deadline could incur a fine from law enforcement. Abrasion from studded tires wears down pavement at a much greater rate than regular traffic. The most visible studded tire damage is the rutting seen on interstate roads with higher speeds and traffic volumes. Studded tires also damage state, county, and city roadways with high traffic. The Washington Department of Transportation says each year studded tires caused around $24.5 million in damage to roads and to highways. Coming up next, End of the Rainbow, the Live Nation Memorial Day weekend music festival at the Gorge Amphitheater that was to replace Sasquatch has now itself been canceled. 4 local teachers have been named Chelan County Excellence Award winners for Wenatchee School District for 2019. And Blue Spoon Yogurt in East Wenatchee is holding a fundraiser tonight for 6-year-old Rayana Rosenberg, the girl who fell into an icy Rock Island pond last month and remains at Seattle Children's Hospital. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Hello, my name is Nathan Schreiber. I'm a physician here at CVCH. My specialty is family medicine, which is a pretty general specialty where I get to treat all walks of life. You know, newborns, children, women, adults, elderly, everything in between. I have additional training in osteopathic manipulative treatment, OMT for short, where I use my hands to diagnose and treat musculoskeletal conditions which are causing pain and inflammation. I look forward to meeting you and being a part of your healthcare.
Walkabout Grill, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in downtown Wenatchee and now downtown Leavenworth, where eating out is eating healthy.
I'm working today.
I've got some work to do today.
Don't forget, I've got some work for you today.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Thanks.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in our community.
New beginnings feel great, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Be a job creator. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
Welcome back. In another news, End of the Rainbow, the Live Nation Memorial Day weekend festival at the Gorge Amphitheater that was supposed to replace the Sasquatch Festival, has itself now been canceled. Ticketmaster informed ticket holders Friday that they'll receive full refunds for the May 24th through 26th festival. The reason for the cancellation was cited as, quote, unforeseen complications and key artist cancellations, unquote. The band Bass Nectar was to have headlined the show with Young Thug and Vic Mensa among the other performers. 4 local teachers have been named Chelan County Excellence Award winners for Wenatchee School District for 2019. They're Gabriella Meja, who was a secretary at Sunny Slope Elementary, Esther Cavaribas, a bilingual educator at Columbia Elementary, Brian Higgins, a language arts teacher at Wenatchee High School, and Alyssa Johnston, a reading intervention specialist at Foothills Middle School. The award honors extraordinary educator. It is sponsored each year by North Central Washington ESD and school districts in Chelan, Grant, Douglas, and Okanagan counties. The award winners will be honored at the 2019 Chelan County Excellence Banquet coming up on April 23rd. That'll be held at the Wenatchee Convention Center. Well, as we go to break, a reminder. Blue Spoon Yogurt in East Wenatchee is holding a fundraiser tonight for 6-year-old Rayana Rosenberg, the girl who fell into an icy Rock Island pond last month and remains at Seattle Children's Hospital. The fundraiser is from 6 o'clock to 8:30, and the Blue Spoon will be donating 40% of all sales and tips to that family. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Clayton Walker, General Manager at Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Wenatchee, and I'd like to invite everyone to the dealership to see how easy it is to buy your next new or pre-owned vehicle at your local dealership.
And I'm Mick Fabian, General Sales Manager, and we currently have a huge selection of new and pre-owned vehicles on the lot to choose from, including the 2019 Motor Trend Truck and SUV of the Year.
So come on down to town and let us earn your business in 2019 at 1001 North Miller Street in Wenatchee.
When you have to get there on time and looking good, call Fast, Friendly, Reliable AC Checker, 663-TAXI. Available 24/7, AC Checker Taxi has the industry's only on-time or it's free guarantee for your pre-booked call. Some conditions apply. Call 663-8294. AC Checker, 663-TAXI. Schedule your ride ASAP or book up to a year in advance online at azchecker.com. American Classic Checker Taxi, 663-TAXI. That's 663-8294.
Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. In tonight's features story, we continue our look behind the scenes on the NCWLIFE magazine, featuring a local project aimed at raising awareness of the dangers of distracted driving. Kashmir senior Emma Bruner began her collaboration with key community partners, including the Wenatchee Police Department, Apple Valley Honda, and Digital Media Northwest, to produce 3 local PSAs that will run this summer in area movie theaters.
I actually think this topic is bigger than community. I think it's going to serve in our community, but I think it's actually it's a global problem. Everybody here at Apple Valley Honda is a parent, so it hits close to home for us, just simply because anytime our kids get behind the wheel of a car, we want their phone out of there. Any text message, any type of social media, it can wait. So a project like this, it affects our kids. So we love the idea right from the get-go.
Emma began her work with Dominic Bonney of Digital Media Northwest to produce 3 PSAs that will run locally in place of Apple Valley Honda's regular ad spots at the movie theater.
This being kind of an inherently unsafe situation, we wanted to make sure that we were filming the distracted driving stuff off the roads and not actually putting anybody in danger, because we did have children as a part of this, and Emma's young as well. So what we did was we used the airport here in Kashmir and used the taxiway to get all the shots of her doing the things she shouldn't be doing behind the wheel. And then we also had support from Chelan County Sheriff, I believe.
Dominic Much.
Yes, Officer Much, who is the Kashmir
resource officer.
Took some time on his day off and came and pulled Emma over on close over by her house, and we went through the script of her basically being pulled over. She says, "Oh, I never do that," and then we filmed all the montage of her doing all the bad things here at the airport, and so we'll cut those together so that it looks like she's being admonished for something that she didn't do, which she actually does, and then the last shot is him giving her a ticket.
Emma says pretending to be a distracted driver for the videos, whether it was on her phone or applying makeup, was a difficult task.
Like, I had all these questions running through my mind, and I was like, I can't do this. Like, this sucks. And luckily, it wasn't just the phone that I had to hold. It was like eating and putting on makeup, which also is like pretty scary because, like, I don't know, it kind of sucks putting on makeup in a car. I don't know why you would do that to begin with, but I don't know. It's just like, it was a little difficult, but the impact that it is going to make, because I know it will, it was definitely worth it to probably look really dumb doing it. So it was definitely worth it.
As far as the themes in each PSA, Emma and Dominic say viewers can expect a little drama.
Dear Mom and Dad one is basically like this girl from beyond the grave is writing her parents an apology letter, and so we never see her die, but it's implied, like you said. And for that one, I'm a big cinema guy, so immediately in my mind I thought like Tarantino, and I thought we need to be lowering a casket into a grave with her parents standing over it, weeping and show that emotional impact. And so we actually used a GoPro and an apple bin because we couldn't dig a grave because it's too cold. So we cut a hole in an apple bin, shoved the GoPro down there, and had her parents stand on the step stool, and it looks just like, we'll see, but it looks pretty much like a grave.
For Emma and Dominic, the challenging work in making these PSAs impactful is well worth it in the end if they can make community members think twice about their behaviors behind the wheel.
Just knowing that I tried to save a life or tried to make an impact, that's enough.
Yeah. Well, and when she told her dad idea for the Dear Mom and Dad one. She said it, you know, he made him tear up, and he was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to think about burying my daughter.
Yeah.
But it's like that, you know, think about how that's going to impact other people.
For Chief Crown, he feels the locally produced PSAs could have more of an impact than a national campaign.
I think that most people, when they see a pretty vanilla ad that's out there on YouTube, they may or may not pick up on it. But when you're a local person seeing local landmarks and people putting the energy behind it, I think that'll have a better impact. I think that's exactly where she wanted to land with this project.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Before we get to those details, look at this. A normal day today here in North Central Washington. 57 our high. That's exactly where we should be for this time of year. Also our low, almost exactly where we should be at 36 this morning. Sunrise 6:52 and the sun will set at 7:22. Let's get to that surface loop now and show you what we can expect over the next few days. Mostly clear and light winds tonight. Boy, hardly any precipitation all over the western U.S. But that will all change as this area of low pressure will continue to swing up from the south into Washington state. And as we move to Wednesday afternoon, about 2 o'clock or so, we will see an increase in clouds as that moisture continues to move up from the south, all because of that area of low pressure. And then by Wednesday evening, we're talking a little bit later in the evening, about 9, 10, it will start sprinkling a little bit. Our best shot at rain will be early on Thursday morning at around 3 a.m., a 50% chance for showers, maybe even some scattered snow showers in the higher elevations around the Wenatchee Valley. Don't worry about it though, nothing will stick out there. 50% chance of showers as well at 2 o'clock on Thursday, so it's going to be a wet one from Wednesday night through Thursday with another 50% chance of rain, but that all goes away just in time for Friday. We will see mostly sunny skies. High pressure begins to build into the Pacific Northwest, and we will see warmer temperatures as we move into Friday. And to kick off our weekend on Saturday, folks, it looks absolutely gorgeous with temperatures hovering around that 60-degree mark, sunny skies, and just overall nice. We will see a few more clouds though on Sunday as our next round of low pressure begins to bring some clouds, especially into the western part of the state. And then by Sunday night, we do have a 30% chance for rain showers. Let's take a look now at your quick lube and tune forecast. 58 your high temperature for Wednesday, a cool one on Thursday at 52, and then we warm up just perfectly for the weekend. 60 degrees your high temperature on both Saturday and Sunday. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Dan Kuntz and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
With 15,000 square feet to explore, you'll find something special at the Antique Mall at Cashmere. For the do-it-yourselfers and those with a keen eye for making something old fresh and new again, the Antique Mall at Cashmere is the place to come find your next project. From the coin enthusiasts to avid collectors, Antique Mall at Cashmere has treasures in every corner. Come find your treasure today. Antique Mall at Cashmere's friendly staff is here to help. Stop on by today.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no-cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support. And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
Hi, everybody. Dan Kuntz filling in for Eric Granstrom. Still a little under the weather, so hopefully Eric will be back on Wednesday. The Wenatchee Wild know who they're going to be playing in the next round of the BCHL playoffs. Bring on the Vernon Vipers. Vernon beat Trail last night, Game 7 of their playoffs. They won 5-2, so we're good to go. Semifinals. of the Fred Page Cup. Game 1 will be Saturday at the Town Toyota Center. Game 2 Sunday, also at the Town Toyota Center. They'll get going at 3 o'clock. As you see, they split their season series at 3 games apiece. 5, the magic number for Wenatchee. All of their wins coming when the Wild scored 5 goals. Also, each team played the other tougher at the opponent's ice. Wenatchee won 2 of 3 up in up in Vernon. The Venom took 2 of 3 here at the Town Toyota Center. Remember last year when these two teams met in the second round of the playoffs? It went to 6 games, 6 classic games, and that 6th and final game went to overtime. A little trip down memory lane.
Back the other direction. Here come the Vipers. He got help. The shot scored. Derek Brown with a shot from the left circle. He had help with Lambert going up the middle, but Brown pulled the trigger. And from the left circle, he rips it home. A low, hard shot on the blocker's side. Svetlakov works it back ahead for Brown. Brown comes in over to the right side. Shot and a score by Lambert. He's in up high for Zek. Back to Galambus. He unloads. He scores! Zach Galambus rockets at top shelf. Shoveled back down low by Stratton. Back out in front for Karamanis. He's in, he shoots, and he scores. Turned over by the Wild in the defensive zone. It bounced to Karamanis, and he was able to step in alone. Had no one in front. He made a nice move, cut hard to his right, and tucked it in around behind Park, low on the glove side. And it hit his skate as well, and now it's Weatherby. He shoots, he scores! Jasper Weatherby rocketed that shot high on the glove side. Off the bar and in. Sharply across left side. Zach shot tipped in front. Score! And we are tied at 3. Weatherby jams it down low. It's for Souter. He gets tangled up, cleared successfully by the Vipers. That's going to about kill it off, and they are going to dodge a huge bullet, but this game is going to be decided for the second night in a row in sudden death overtime. He comes over on the near side, spins, he shoots, save made, rebound, cleared not out. Vanderbeck again, shot, score! Signed, sealed, delivered. Game over, series over. The Wenatchee Wild win it in overtime.
So here we go, third round of the playoffs. Once again, game 1 Saturday night at the Town Toyota Center. Game 2 Sunday night at the Town Toyota Center. Tickets just $10. What's on the prep slate for this Tuesday? We'll start out with boys soccer. Chelan travels to Omak. Manson hosts Liberty Bell. They get going at 4:30. We're going to have the crew at Leib off the field at the Apple Bowl. This will be a good one. Wenatchee and Eastmont, 7 o'clock tonight, live right here. Sebastian Malaga and Matt Wisen on the call. Prep baseball, all of these games get going at 4:30. Wenatchee at West Valley. Eastmont hosts Moses Lake. Cashmere welcomes Quincy. Chelan at Okanagan. Waterville Mansfield travels to Manson again. They all start at 4:30, all single games. Fast pitch softball today. Cashmere hosts Granger. They got a doubleheader that gets going at 3. Cascade plays 2 at Zilla, also at 3. Chelan hosts Omak for a single game at 4:30. Waterville Mansfield at Manson also at 4:30. Can't forget about tennis. Wenatchee hosts Davis at 3. Eastmont's down in Yakima, the gateway to Wapato. They'll be taking on Eisenhower at 3. Cashmere has a 4 o'clock start time at Okanagan. Omak hosts Chelan, and I know it's only exhibition baseball, but boy, the Mariners did not look good yesterday. They got 2 hit last night. 8-0 was the final. San Diego at T-Mobile Park. Got to get used to saying that. Chris Paddock and 6 relievers combined on the 2-hitter, struck out 17 Seattle batters in the process. Mariners starter Mike Leake gave up a 6 spot in the first inning. Was he throwing underhanded? He gave up a 3-run home run and a 2-run home run. Anyway, they played one more game this afternoon. Then the Mariners are off on Wednesday, and the Boston Red Sox in town Thursday to restart, if you will, the Major League Baseball season. Those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Tuesday. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Dan. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. Also, keep it right here on the and Kuntz. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.